From Great American Ballpark, it's the last home series before the All-Star break. The Cincinnati Reds take on the San Diego Padres. And a pleasant good evening. Welcome on back to Reds Baseball alongside the Hall of Famer, our captain, Barry Larkin. I'm John Sadak. And Lark, let's have some fun tonight, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
This Reds team has some really good young players that have inspired us to channel some boyhood memories of a favorite television program. So let's look at how the superpowers of these young pups have assembled into an outstanding team that co-leads the division as we stand. Narrator? Meanwhile, at Great American Ballpark, the fraternal Wonder Twins.
I'm going to tell you, these two young guys of Ellie De La Cruz and Matt McClain, it's been amazing how prepared both guys have been when they came to the big league. So they are our power of the prospect, two guys that are gotten it done.
Mr. Versatility, Spencer Steer.
Spencer Steer has been amazing. At third base to start the season, they moved him over to first base. Now he's playing left field. The only thing he has consistently done is make contributions and swing the bat.
The chaos creator, TJ Friedl.
TJ Friedl talked about putting the ball on the ground, getting on base, making things happen. He has done that. He also is hitting the ball out the ballpark. He is playing an incredible level of baseball right now.
Full moon in the sky, the leader of the pack, Jonathan India.
Jonathan India is always on the top step. I think he is the inspirational leader of this group. This is a young group. Someone had to step up. Jonathan India has been that leader.
And Mr. Clutch in a pinch, Alexis Diaz.
We have had to have every situation we have a chance to close out the ball game. Mr. Clutch has done that 22 consecutive times. When you have a chance to win, you got to close the door. He has done a fantastic job of doing that.
What a thrilling first half this has been for the Reds. And you know what's best? We got another half to go.
Let's get it.
We'll go to break. When we're back, Jim Day on the way to take a look at the layered impact on the Reds mound. Ashcraft gets the green light tonight. Jimmy James Day will break it all down.
He was going good at the beginning of the season, including against this vaunted Padres lineup back on May 2nd at San Diego. It was a no decision, but 6 innings of 1-run baseball, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. That was his last quality start of the season. Let's see if he can get back on a roll here starting tonight. Reds starting pitching, well, it's been a mix and match kind of group. And if you talked earlier in the season, if they have a stopper, you would say Hunter Green, you'd say Lodolo, even Ashcraft. But that guy has been Andrew Abbott. The rookie has been sensational in his 5 starts. Can't do better than a 4-0 record. 5-0 record. I know, you're screaming at me out there. But his 1.21 ERA has been record-setting. He is amongst the best to ever do it to start his major league career in a Reds uniform. Meanwhile, our Medical Mutual 5-star report. Here's today's 5-star report. 19 different pitchers have a win this season. 3rd team in Major League Baseball history in the first 81 games to do that, matching the 2018 Dodgers and the 2023 Angels. Padres and Reds, 3-game weekend set. Mathematically, we're starting the second half. Let's start it off with a bang. The game is next.
Reds baseball on Bally Sports Ohio is brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Cincinnati, and by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. Final home set before the All-Star break. Reds just enjoyed their last off day before the Midsummer Classic. Cincinnati winners in 14 of 17, facing a struggling Padres team, a season worst 7 below 500, a season-long 5-game losing skid. Big round number for Joey Votto. An historic night. It's his 2,000th career game. He joins Miguel Cabrera, Nelson Cruz, Elvis Andrus as the only active men in the majors to play 2,000. He is the 5th Red to achieve that in franchise lore. On the bump for David Bell's ball club, Graham Ashcraft.
You know, it's been an up and down season. Obviously,
well documented, very good early, and then something went awry. I personally feel that Graham is a bulldog, and the issue with bulldogs is when things don't go exactly as planned, you try to go a little bit harder. I'd like to see him pull back a little bit, maybe just let the natural action go. Now I know that's tough to do as a young pitcher. Hopefully he'll have the success, but a lot of times that success is because you try to do a little bit less than trying to put a little more into it.
4+ against the Braves on Saturday. Career highs in hits and home runs allowed. The Braves do have a very good lineup. So do the Padres on paper, but there are no paper rings. Their full nine brought to you by Rally House. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been on the whole excellent, but his numbers skewed heavily at home. On the road, not the same player. Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Jake Cronenworth, who's also struggled on the road. Gary Sanchez has provided pop. Look for, if a ball gets in the dirt, a Red to perhaps try to take an extra bag. They are aggressive. He has not been clean behind the plate on the bulk of his career. Matt Carpenter has struggled, Rougned Odor, and Trent Grisham. Now, this lineup has toiled dramatically against right-handed pitching. They have also suffered significantly with men in scoring position. Defense for the Reds, it's Benson, Friedel, Fraley. Friedel tied for the team high 4 defensive runs saved. A rare start at third for Spencer Steer, just his second since April 25th. McLean, India, Votto, and Stevenson. Fret not Elly De La Cruz is playing. He is the DH. It's an earlier start time thanks to Her Highness Taylor Swift, her first of back-to-back shows just down the road. And so to alleviate traffic concerns with well over 100,000 people down here on the banks, the start time bumped up a couple of hours. First pitch, grounded right to second. India makes the play. When Graham Ashcraft is going best, that's what happens. He gets ground ball contact.
Yes, he does. Weak contact.
Now an on-base machine, Juan Soto. He's been on in 16 consecutive games. He walks at an absurd rate. By counting numbers, he by far leads baseball. 75 walks. The next closest on that list is Kyle Schwarber at 56. That's a dramatic drop. One. Weak ground ball. India backhand. This is a good start for Graham Ashcraft.
And the reason it's a good start, John, is because you want to make sure what Graham Ashcraft does, he has a lot of movement. You want that movement to be north and south, indicative of that ground balls.
Manny Machado. Swing and miss. Slider looking like it has bite. Now, there are many Padres that have strong documented success against Cincinnati. And Machado's one of them. He's in the driver's seat presented by Hyundai. On base in 26 straight games against the Reds. That's the longest active run by any one foe. And it's not just one reach. He's hitting almost 360, on base almost 420 in that time. High fly. Benson slows on the track. That's a 7-pitch inning for Graham Ashcraft. Friedel leads off. Matt McLean on a base in 20 straight. Jonathan India, Elly De La Cruz, the DH for the first time in the big leagues. Jake Fraley, Joey Votto, Spencer Steer, Tyler Stevenson, and Will Benson. And the Reds face the veteran Seth Lugo.
33-year-old Seth Lugo. There's the heater right there. Throws that fastball, sits 93 miles an hour. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Does not walk many people. Throws a lot of strikes.
One. Friedel coming off a fantastic road trip. 6 for 13, 2 clutch home runs. Critical parts of the Reds series win in Baltimore. High chopper. Odor, the flip. That brings up Matt McLain, subject of today's Kia player profile. His first 40 career games, 92 total bases. Only Adam Dunn more at that mark in Reds history.
And I think obviously Matt McLain has been so impactful or impressive with his hitting prowess. But every part of his game, his aggressiveness on the bases, defensively, really good at both short and second base.
He co-leads the Reds in outs above average defensively. He's an on-base machine. Only Marte has a longer active on-base streak. The Reds co-lead the division. First time at their midway point of the year that they've been in first place since 2010. 81 games exactly complete entering this game for David Bell's club. For perspective, last year at the 81 game mark they were 28-53, and there they are tied with the Brewers atop the National League Central. Stung the opposite way. Now, you mentioned the curveball for Lugo. He throws it a lot. We haven't seen a ton of it yet in this outing. It is the highest spin curveball in the big leagues. And spin usually has a direct correlation with the amount of break. Popped him up. Jay Cronenworth. Now the Padres are strong defensively. While they have struggled with results on the field, they can play some pretty good defense, led by Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field. For Bob Melvin's team, he is second on the squad, top 5 in baseball in defensive runs saved. He has a cannon for an arm, averaging almost 96 miles per hour on his throws. Down to Jonathan India. Their best defender is Ha-Seong Kim, primarily at shortstop. He is nursing a hamstring issue and is not starting tonight. India's played every game, Lark. He finds himself in a bit of a rut. He's 3 for his last 28, 9 strikeouts, but the at-bats have looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's just a competitor. It's going to be ups and downs. The beauty of this team is that no one person has to be the guy. Everyone is making contributions. Everyone is coming up with the big hit. I think Jonathan is the inspirational leader of this team. He's always on the top step, either putting the helmet on or the cape when someone goes deep. I'm assuming in the clubhouse he's the voice of reason or the authoritative voice, as well as some of the other veterans on the team. But he's a young player in himself. Definitely a leader.
Payoff. Driven in the air to right. Tatis angles underneath. 1-2-3.
Ceremonial first pitch screen right. Manager Bob Melvin incoming. They're delivering the lineup cards, and you'll see that. I don't know how we score this. I guess hit by pitch, but bam, just a bit outside. Yep, Melvin's look on his face was he was not really pleased.
I think that's more of a pass ball than a wild pitch.
I would say so.
Be alert at all times.
Head on a swivel. That's what we say. Keep your head on a swivel.
Well, Ashcraft facing Xander Bogaerts, who's been on base in 17 of 18. He is one of the many large contracts on this Padres team that has a ton of talent, and with it commensurate incredibly high expectation. He inked an 11-year $280 million deal. The Padres went all in to win now, and the wins have not come in the bunches expected. They stand in fourth place, 10.5 out in a difficult West, and have lost 5 straight, 10 of 14. Check swing in the zone. You had called for a somewhat backed up Ashcraft. Are we seeing that here?
I'm hoping that's what we see. And I feel like a lot of times, as I said, I think guys with really strong conviction, which is what I feel Graham Ashcraft has, when things don't quite go well, they definitely try to go harder. Another nice slider right here. But you could see the depth. I mean, I did see 99 in that first inning, but this right here is a really good pitch. Good downward tilt, north and south. But yeah, I advised a few guys on our teams, from what I see at shortstop, it looks like you're just trying really, really hard. How about not try so hard? Now, that's difficult to do. Meaning just kind of get into your position. Don't try to force it. Just let it happen. Hopefully that's what we're seeing right here.
Jay Cronenworth, square counted 1. Well, Ashcraft's last great start came against the Padres. That was on the 2nd of May, the lone win for the Reds in that 3-game series. It came in extras, a 2-1 triumph in 10. He went 6, 1 run, gave up only 6 hits. And that's when Ashcraft was outstanding out of the gate. His first 6 starts, he was 2-0. An ERA of 2 even. Average against was barely above 200. Chopper right side. India in. This looks like the best of Graham Ashcraft. Here's the contrast from the start to of late.
Well, you can see the first 6 starts, he was really good. Much of what we're seeing today is what we saw right there, and it was the weak contact. Then the last 8 games, ball elevated. It seemed like his pitches had more east-west movement as opposed to north-south. In baseball terms, we say his pitches started to flatten out. And when you're on one plane, big league hitters make you pay. Reflected in the numbers.
Gary Sanchez has plenty of pop. Chops this ball to short. McLean over, can't get there. Skips on through. But to me, that's a good sign. That's another ball not cleanly squared that just bounced and found a hole.
And that's what we saw early in Ashcraft's career. That's exactly what we saw. We can live with that right there. As I said, the ground balls indicate the movement on his pitches. And he's still got the velocity, though. So we've seen 99, we've seen 97, 8. So you have to react, you have to anticipate a strike. So far, so good.
Matt Carpenter. Now this Padres team, in terms of average and damage, both batting average and OPS, they have wide left-right splits as a team. They are poor against right-handed pitching on the year. And Carpenter is perhaps the poster child in that regard. Now, there are other players who are being paid a lot more money, who are hitting in more premium spots, but he's a left-handed bat who, you can see bottom of the screen, 172 against right-handed pitching. That's second worst in baseball.
Well, you look at the payroll of the San Diego Padres, and if you're a Padre fan, I'm sure you could poke a lot of holes and reasons why this team is not playing as well as expected. A 4, 5, 6 game winning streak rectifies all of that, and I think with the personnel, they obviously have the ability to do that. Just let it happen after they leave.
Yeah, I am with you on that, because they are very due to go on a hot streak. They're 7 under, a season worst. They have not won more than 3 in a row at any point this year. We're halfway home of 162. 2-2. Ashcraft looks steely focused. He looks like he's executing his pitches. Two again. Weak ground ball. Votto scoop. Graham Ashcraft with the fist pump. He might be back. Go back to May the 30th. Reds and Padres had identical records. Since, quite different. Champagne problems for the Padres, third highest payroll in baseball, while the Reds have reveled in their youth. And as Ellie De La Cruz is about to stand in, David Bell comes out of the dugout. Home plate umpire Jeff Nelson to the padded rail, asking Freddie Benavidez something. Jim, what are you seeing down there? I wonder if there's communication difficulties on one side or the other. That's happened once this year. That was while the Reds, I think, were on the road. There was an issue with the bullpen phone.
Reds are missing a pitch comp. So they have to go tell the Padres that we are going to give you, the Reds, a pitch comp, because only so many guys can wear it on the field. They're just alerting the Padres that they're giving the Reds a pitch comp.
Ellie De La Cruz, the DH for the first time in the big leagues. He did it once in AAA this year. First pitch opposite way, caught by Machado. A whistled line drive out. That was 108.2 off the bat.
Don't waste any time. This kid steps in the batter's box, you better be ready. Really good swing.
First pitch strike to Jake Fraley. Well, Machado is an outstanding defender. Top 5 at third base right now, an ounce above average this year. Fraley has been hot. His last 13 games hitting .372. 6 homers, 14 RBIs. Look at that OPS over 1250. To left, Soto. 2 down. And now Joey Votto. He said he would walk up to Taylor, and apparently 22 the choice. First pitch, sky to shallow right. Tatis. That is a 5-pitch inning for Seth Lugo. And more with the Jim Day podcast. Enjoy an extended conversation with current and former players, as well as others associated with the Reds. Tune in at reds.com/podcasts. Graham Ashcraft, slider strike. Both pitchers efficient. Rougned Odor. He is getting some off-balance swings, and he's been a little more slider heavy first time through.
Well, that looked like that was the straight changeup right there. I thought that was a great pitch.
Swing and miss.
And that was a good slider. One consistent thing so far today has been the downward north-south. Look at the dive on this pitch. Good sequence. Goes change up and then that slider.
Trent Grisham stands in. He's another lefty with odd splits. 284 against lefties, 182 against righties. You know, Ashcraft was trying to add a split change this offseason. When I saw him at Reds Fest and I asked him how the offseason was going, he said at the time that was his main focus. By the time spring training arrived, it wasn't quite where he wanted it to be. They said, let's just stick with the slider. Savant doesn't even have him with a split change. There's no prior data, but you're eyeballing that here tonight. That would be a significant difference for Ashcraft. Bunt yanked back. It lands for a strike. They are not seeing him.
Well, just looking at this at bat to Grisham. 2 heaters down and in at 98, ball 1 and 2. 2 sliders at 88, strike 1 and 2. Less is more. All right, just pull back a little bit. Just let your ball work for you. Don't try to force it. I thought the first 2 pitches of this at bat. And then after he throws 2 nice sliders down and away, he elevates at 98, and that's good pitching. See if he goes back downstairs.
2-2. Struck him out.
Well, he didn't go downstairs, but he did go off speed. See where Tyler Stevenson set up. He was looking for that ball down. Just missed his spot.
Top of the order, Tatis saw 1 pitch. He grounded out. Swing and a miss. Like driving a Maserati down a dead-end street. Gets there quickly, over in a hurry. Tapper foul. There has been some direct correlation between the performance of select Padres and wins and losses. In their wins, their stars are hitting way better, particularly Machado and Soto. who see enormous splits, wins versus losses. Chop to short, tough play. Nice pick by McLean.
Matty McLean's been very aggressive, coming and getting that ball on the short hop and making a nice throw across the diamond.
In big league history, 38 or more bombs, 45 or more steals in a calendar month. The Rays in May also did it. The Reds 39 homers, 49 steals in June. They have baseball's 5th best record in June. And TJ Friedl, the team leader, with 14 steals. He has shown power of late as well. And Spencer Steer, who takes a generous strike, is having a great year, often batting as he is tonight in the bottom third with that production. Another generous strike off the plate away.
Bottom third, Spencer Steer with 12 and 46. Tyler Stevenson, who was hitting in the middle of the lineup, and Will Benson, who has just been on absolute fire, to round out the bottom 9 or the bottom third. Production from those guys, the length of the lineup. Wonder why this team is playing so well. And you mentioned a few guys in the middle of the lineup just haven't been on top of their game. But the team just keeps on trucking.
Now Steer has been excellent with 2 strikes. Swing and miss, up and in. First strikeout for Lugo.
2 strikes on a hitter. He gets defensive. You throw this heater close to his hands and elevated. It's hard to catch up to it. Good pitch.
Now Lugo got a couple of calls off the plate away. Does he try to do that to Stevenson, who loves to take the ball the opposite way? He does, and it's lined to second off the glove of Odor, and that's down. Stevenson is on, the first Red to reach. That's going to be an error on Odor.
You see that and you wonder how in the world. I don't know if this ball is knuckling, but I'm assuming that ball had some knuckle to it. But you normally don't see that from a big league infielder. That ball was blistered.
Well, Padres entered with the fewest errors committed in baseball. They had 29. That's number 30. Will Benson, who's been on fire since he came back to the big leagues from AAA. Among men with 70 or more plate appearances, he's top 5 in average. He's second in on base to Juan Soto. He's second in OPS to Shohei Ohtani.
And John, his setup seems to be similar, but his approach to swinging at the ball looks so different, at least from up here. You know, I thought earlier in the season it looked like it was a pull the ball to second base, hit the ball to right field kind of approach. Now it's a drive the ball to left center field, and if you're out in front, oh, I'll hit a triple to right center field or left field. Oh, I'm sorry, right field.
Generous delayed low strike. This is what he did left on left against the Orioles.
Yeah, here's the triple I was talking about right here, and that's lefty lefty. That's tough. I think Will has, one thing I talked to Will about doing in the minor leagues was really tracking the ball. I feel like he's tracking the ball out of the pitcher's hands so much better than he did his first time up.
Now it's concerning that Benson has seen a called strike that was clearly, it looked like 2 full baseballs low. That's how most teams have tried to attack him, and part of the difference is he's laying off that pitch. But this zone has been a little odd and quite big.
Some early chirping coming from the Reds dugout, and already some mean mugging between Jeff Nelson and the Red skipper.
I can understand why. Full count. Top of the order, Friedel on deck. Payoff. Hit hard on the ground. Odor glove spin. Throws to second. Cuts down Stevenson. That's a tough play. Take away that chance for a man in scoring position. 2 down. Benson on fielder's choice.
This is a really good play by Odor. I didn't think he had a chance to go to second base. Tyler Stevenson running. Xander Bogart understanding no chance to get Will Benson. Just make sure one.
Benson goes. Pitch misses down and in. Throw down. Tag. Safe. That's the Reds' 50th steal of June. Their most in a single month since September of 1912.
Really good jump right there. And as we talked about, look where this throw is. Throw on the third base side of second base. Got to throw that ball on the other side of the bag. Throw the ball on the other side of the bag. He's out easy.
1-0. Friedel swing and a miss. Lark, the last time the Cincinnati Reds stole 50 bases in a month, it was year 1 at Crosley Field, which wasn't yet called Crosley Field. It was still Redland Field. Low strike. With how Lugo could work, particularly with his curveball fastball combo, this could mean a tough series of innings if that's a strike. Friedel is grounded out to second. Away. So the Reds are now 53 for their last 58 in stolen base attempts. That's some high efficiency. 58 attempts, caught 5 times as a team.
Just the 58 attempts in itself. I think that's amazing. This team just has an identity. They have speed and they are finally using it, and it's really nice to see.
Second straight full count. Foul. First chance for either team today with the man in scoring position. Benson a big lead. Sky to routine left. Soto. For Family Sunday, 2 days time against the Padres. Fans in attendance receive the next poster in the City Connect series featuring Joey Votto, thanks to Hit Seekers while supplies last. No score, only 1 total hit. We're in the 4th. Juan Soto was grounded out to second base. Graham Ashcraft in 3 innings already has 5 ground ball outs. Here's a ground ball right up the middle, kicked off the bag. Oh, of all the luck. There's a base hit for Soto to spark the 4th.
And this ball hits the bag. I think Matt McClain gets a hand on this ball. He sure did. Yeah, just bad luck.
Machado. Center field, Friedel. Well, now second time through, couple of first pitch swings. So the Padres were, it looked at times tentative, maybe at times befuddled, ultimately unable to square Ashcraft, and I wonder what the running dialogue was, because now second time through, first pitch swing. That's the second ball in the air against Ashcraft, both off the bat of Machado. Bogarts is struck out. Strike one. Called strike, and the Reds benefit just off the plate away. The Reds just took a series in Baltimore against an Oriole team boasting the second best record in the American League. Padres just got swept by the Pirates. Soto does have 6 steals this year. The Padres are not as deep or explosive as the Reds, but they do have men that push the envelope a bit. They run a little bit. Swing and miss. 4 strikeouts for Ashcraft.
Good depth on this slider right here, and I think Graham is doing a nice job of pitching on both sides of the plate, finishing with that nice slider.
Timeout entering the box for Cronenworth. Don't see that very often. He is grounded out to second.
Tends to tell me that he's thinking swing early.
He does. Fouls it back. Reds had an off day yesterday. They are TBD Tuesday, 4th of July in D.C. for their starter. If Ashcraft can give length and performance, wow, that could help a lot. Sent to center. He works around the leadoff hit. If a Reds home run hits the Toyota hit and win sign during the ball game, Robert from right here in Cincinnati wins the brand new built in the USA 2023 Tundra on display here at the ballpark. Register for your chance at your Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. No score, bottom 4. The Reds put a man on with 8 of error and exchanged him with fielder's choice. It's otherwise been silence against Seth Lugo. Matt McLean has popped out to first base. Now, Lugo has been dominant against the Reds' lifetime in limited starts. He was more of a long man, swing man in the majority of his Mets days. But he wanted to start, and he found that spot with the Padres. 15 games, 2 starts against the Reds entering today. 2-1 with a 1.16 ERA. The damage done mostly on homers. He had thrown 23 1/3 innings lifetime against the Reds. 3 runs, 1 homer. It was a Spencer Steer home run May 3rd. To right field. Tatis. One away. Jonathan India to the plate, and Jim Day, he was on the field early.
Very early, taking early BP. Now when you're struggling, what do? You go back to work. Now in his words, crushing it today. One of the best batting practice sessions that he's had in quite some time. Does it translate over to the game? No, not always, but indication that he knows he's going through a scuffle. And again, you go back to work.
Appeal, no go. Well, he did engineer a full count first time, and he just missed 105 plus off the bat, threading the first base bag for extra bases. It was just wide. In on India. Two and two. He's worked another full count. Up the middle, the first hit for a Red. Jonathan India back stronger than a 90s trend.
Good bit of hitting. You mentioned working a second full count. Right back up the middle. That's the way you get out of a little mini slump. Look for many more hits to come.
De La Cruz, high chopper with eyes, base hit. India right through second base. Tatis scoops. De La Cruz to second. There'll be a play. Great throw, and he slides into the tag. India to third base, single for De La Cruz, and a dime for Tatis, who has an excellent arm and showed it off there.
Well, ball over the first baseman's head. Normally, you're thinking there is no way this right fielder is going to be able to come up and make a play. As a right-handed outfielder, you have to get around that ball, make a pivot almost like a shortstop, which he was, and a nice solid play. It's more like a second baseman move right there, but middle infielders, that's why what's happening here in Cincinnati, where you have so many shortstops in the organization, can go and play different positions. Tatis was a big league shortstop. He is playing right field. When you have athleticism on the field, plays like that happen.
Ellie was home to second in 7.97, which is exceptional, top 5% in baseball. But that throw was on a line at 88.
It was the throw, and it was a really good throw, but it was him getting to the ball. Understanding who was running. If you're not busting it and getting to that ball right away, you're not making a play on Ellie.
Fraley is flied to left. Curveball down. India off third, a big lead afforded by a left-handed bat. Swing and a miss, high heat. Is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Reds. No need for Ashcraft to calm down. I love when he shows his emotion. 4 scoreless so far. The dangerous Gary Sanchez. The Padres were in dire need of offensive help behind the plate. Sanchez, who at one point was the dominant offensive catcher in the game on his initial rise with the Yankees. Since then, he's kicked around a bit. But his start with the Padres, Lark, he became the first man in franchise history to homer 6 times in his first 13 games in their unit.
Well, he's got that kind of pop, that's for sure.
Driven to center. Friedel extends and he makes the catch. Oh, a great play by TJ Friedel to rob Sanchez.
Little closing speed right there. TJ Friedel, line drive right at you. It's a tough read. Swivel the hips. Open up to the glove side. Textbook.
The first time Ashcraft has been truly squared tonight, and the defense up to the task. Matt Carpenter checks his swing and an upstairs strike. That line drive was 107.3 into the glove. Carpenter bounced to first his first time. Called strike. You know what? It's seemingly been there now on both sides, so that's fair game.
You know, as a hitter, you go up there and you certainly have conversations with the umpire. Obviously, you can't show him up. You can't argue balls and strikes. But you'd also recognize that he's calling it for both sides. And when that happens, you just say, okay, well, today that's a strike. You just want to make sure it's a strike late in the game if it's a strike early.
Two. Into the glove, strike 3. 5 Ks for Ashcraft, dealing death by 1,000 cuts.
There it is, that downward plane again.
Rougned Odor struck out his first time. Bunt yanked back. That seemed like the perfect pitch for a man that was going to square. When Ashcraft is on, he is a rough at bat for left-handed hitters.
He's a rough at bat for all hitters when he's on. Just the amount of movement that he has, what I think is working for him today is it looks like he's just a little more under control. Looks like he's not trying to force the pitches, just letting it happen.
One. Hit hard on the ground. India knocks it down, settles. 1, 2, 3. Ashcraft feeling the fire. Scoreless. Let's update the FanDuel same game parlay discussed on Reds Live. TJ Friedel still needs a couple of hits. Jake Fraley's got to go deep. Manny Machado, well, we don't have to win them all. I guess in that case, technically you do. Joey Votto, who on the first pitch flied out to right, and you liked that swing.
I really did. It's a nice. I thought he was in really good position. I thought he just missed hitting that ball a long, long way.
Votto asks for time. Two and two. Playing his 2,000th career game. Swing and miss. Brief word now from the folks at DHL Supply.
DHL Supply Chain is hiring for a wide range of salaried, operational, and functional roles. Apply today at joindhl.com.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Lugo. That is ripped over third. Base hit, Spencer Steer. Sliding try by Soto. Steer turns and shuts it down. Soto recovered well. Strong throw to second base.
It's a nice rip by Spencer Steer. And Juan Soto in left field. Talked about the athleticism. We saw it in right field with Fernando Tatis. Juan Soto coming up with an aggressive play in the outfield to keep the double play in order.
That hit 108 off the bat. Now Stevenson squared the ball, hit it off the glove of Odor, and it ricocheted off of it. An error that made for the Reds' first base runner. Steer has a pretty good sized lead. Strike one. Steer has 9 steals. He's been caught a couple of times. The Reds have 3 men with double-digit swipes. Steer and Ellie De La Cruz on the doorstep with 9 apiece. Stuart Fairchild, who went deep the other day at AAA, has 8 in the big leagues this year. And I do not think we have seen the last of Fairchild in the big leagues this season. Now, the Reds haven't had 5 men with double-digit steals in a year since 1999. When they had 6. Steer's been coming on a lot this month. They haven't had 5 accomplish it in their first 82 games since 1996. That could happen here tonight. Now the caught stealing numbers with Gary Sanchez. He has caught 5 in 17 attempts. He does have one of the better pop times in baseball and a strong arm. That is sent to left. Soto coming on. Base hit. Back-to-back knocks for the Redlegs.
Like a hanging breaking ball. Seth Lugo is lucky that Tyler Stevenson only hit that for a single. That's the kind of ball that goes a long, long way.
And now Will Benson, who reached on fielder's choice and stole second. Goes right back with a curveball, a sharper one for a strike. offensive swing, fouled back. Benson has obvious and impressive tools. He also has an excellent feel for the strike zone. That was not on display when he was first in the big leagues, but has been a critical part of his success since returning from the minors. Look at that check swing. That's a borderline pitch right near the edge, and he fights it off.
Yep. That's an art, to be able to spoil pitches until you get one you can handle. 074 to 278. Wow.
Pickoff play. Late tag. Well, the Padres acutely aware of the Reds' ability to run. We saw a timeout when Steer was at first base. I have to think that was part of it, along with sequencing. Oh, 2. Landed on the edge, strike 3.
Well, this right here is just a really good pitch. 96. Nice job of framing by Gary Sanchez.
By the way, some bad news if you were hoping the Reds would be in the Aroldis Chapman trade sweepstakes. TJ Friedl, first pitch, swing and a miss. He has been traded to the Texas Rangers, announced by the Royals on Twitter. Down to Friedl, who has grounded out, flied out. Grounded to second. The sinker gets a ground ball. The Reds strand a couple. Graham Ashcraft so far today.
Yeah, I think he's done a really nice job. That depth on the slider, and you know the fastball still is sitting at 99 miles an hour, but I feel like it's a little less effort and a lot more movement, a lot more control. He's been really good. This is what we saw early. It was a lot of weak contact, a lot of balls on the ground, and of course the strikeouts, and the slider has been a weapon.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Untouchable. Burning brighter than the sun. He has struck out 5, walked none. Couple of hits, each a single, and a lot of ground ball outs. Trent Grisham has struck out. Lifts this ball to center. Friedl angling back at the wall, and that's gone. Trent Grisham's 8th home run. The Padres post the first run of the game.
Well, a lot of contact that has been made. Look at that. If we could really trace that pitch right there, you could see that that didn't have the downward movement that we have been seeing earlier in the evening. Here's the pitch right here, just kind of spinning. Talked about that north and south movement. That was the east and west. Very flat.
And now top of the order. Tatis is grounded out twice. They shade him to pull. We saw first pitch swing right out of the gate from Tatis when he led off in the first inning. There have been 8 first pitch swings, and 2 of their 3 hits have come on the first pitch. And we've seen some teams try that strategy against Ashcraft. The Rockies come to mind when Ashcraft had been rolling, and then right in the middle of the game, the Rockies started ambushing first or second pitches.
And that's exactly the word, ambushing. That's what you try to do. When you have a really good pitcher on the mound, when you have a pitcher that has a feature pitch, a specialty pitch, you don't want him to get to it.
Votto up against the netting. He makes the play. There's little room for error there, because if that ball just whispers against that netting, there's no play.
Well, that's a nice job by Joey. You can see him getting to that wall, not really drifting. And that's all about understanding and playing at home. Very familiar with that first base foul territory. Really nice play. Yeah, when you have a pitcher that has a feature pitch, right, you try to ambush, meaning you look for a ball in a certain spot, right? If you're thinking Graham Ashcraft, when he was really struggling early, we saw him fairly pitching on the outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitters, right, and the lefties or whatever it is. So you don't necessarily look for a pitch, you look for a location. You be very aggressive to that location, and I think that's what you do if you're facing a guy that has this kind of stuff.
One up and in. And Soto single came first pitch in the 4th. That extended his on base streak to 17 consecutive games. And Grisham, by the way, has been pretty hot. His average is up 20 points in 10 days. And he's now homered in consecutive games. Three-one. Lands backdoor for a strike. Soto went from shuffle to strut and got Beckin back. Soto takes a lot of pitches. Zone has been generous down. Swing and miss, up and in.
Very frustrating. You think you got ball 4. You get 97 painted inside. Up.
Did you catch the Soto shuffle by Ashcraft off the mound?
Might have seen that.
I did not see it.
That's a competitive man.
I love his competitiveness.
Machado has flied out twice, once to left, once to center.
One thing to keep an eye on right now, John, is we're starting to get that shadow on the infield. Left field is now becoming a sun field. We see this normally in batting practice or early in the ball game. But with that 5-10 start today, see that sun perking up behind, behind the third baseline, so that left fielder I'm watching Spencer Steer at third base, Matt McClain at shortstop, and certainly out in the outfield, Will Benson.
Well, at the right time, the contrast of shadows could also make it really tough for hitters to pick up the baseball cleanly. It's been back-to-back full counts. He struck out Soto on a fastball up and in. Payoff here. There's a slider into the glove. Strike three. Back-to-back Ks for Graham Ashcraft. Come watch the Reds tomorrow afternoon. They take on the Padres. Fans in attendance receive a patriotic floppy hat, courtesy of Bally Sports Ohio. Game time 1:40. Gates open 12:10. First pitch strike, a breaking ball from Lugo. Matt McClain has popped out. He's flied out. He entered with an on-base streak in 20 games. Time for McClain. Oh, 2 upstairs. Up and in. Misses with the change inside. Generous away, strike three. It's got to be so difficult to try to reprogram quick twitch reflexes, but that has been somewhat consistently a strike on both sides.
That has been the strike zone today. You're right. And it's incredibly frustrating, you know, because you see it out of the pitcher's hand and you are programmed to say, oh, that is a ball. Very frustrating. But if that's the strike zone today, you have to make the adjustments.
Lugo pitching with some pace. Misses in.
And the thing about it is it goes for everyone. Right. So that backdoor slider to Juan Soto off the plate. And if it's a fast, or if it's a ball or a strike for one, it's got to be a ball or strike for all.
Noticeable limp for India, who grimaces after this foul ball. Ooh. Athletic trainer Sean Bequeenie up, David Bell out.
You know, John, a lot of times you get together with players and you talk about the game. Had an opportunity to spend some time with a buddy of mine, Joe Carter, Kenny Lofton, this past weekend, and we were talking about missing the game or not missing the game. And everyone talked about, yeah, we miss the camaraderie. What we don't miss is fouling those sliders off the foot. We just had that conversation. That is painful. Off the shin.
Strike three called.
Don't miss that either.
And David Bell is hot. He and Jeff Nelson are still going at it. Nelson mask off, leaning and yelling at Bell.
No, I'm surprised that it's on the black. I don't know. I'm surprised that that conversation was allowed to go, because the one thing you can't do is argue balls and strikes.
De La Cruz has drilled a line drive out to third. He has chopped a single over first that he tried to stretch into two and got cut down. In the air, left center. Grisham way over. On the crisscross, the ball's down. De La Cruz flying up to second. He slams on the brakes. Equalizing run in scoring position. Soto seemingly could not see it, and Grisham could not close the gap in time. That's an error on Grisham.
I think he did see it. I think Juan Soto did see it. This is Grisham's ball right here, but Soto calls it. That's the outfielder. That is the center fielder's ball. That's just a lack of communication, lack of taking control.
Jake Fraley is flied out, struck out. So the good bad. The pitch just off the plate away to righties is being called a strike. It's not been into lefties. So Lugo instead has done that to the lefties a lot. He has lived down. We saw that to Benson. We see that here to Fraley. To right center, base hit, windmill on De La Cruz. He jogs home, tied.
And this is something that this team has consistently done this year. Take advantage of mistakes when mistakes are made by the defense. Runner in scoring position, Jake Fraley coming up with a base hit. Tie ball game.
So Jake Fraley drives home the equalizer. There is an Ellie chant here at Great American Ballpark, or Joey chant, with Votto coming to the plate. Mound visit here with the entire infield in. The go-ahead run on the base.
John, when you play on winning ball clubs, at the end of the day, at the end of the game, end of the season, you look back on the season or the game in particular, you say, how in the world did we win that game? Simple plays like that happen for teams that are destined to win.
Fraley's got a big lead. That draws a throw. Fraley a dozen steals, caught just 3 times. That RBI for Fraley, by the way, extends his team lead to 50. The first red to that margin on the year, halfway through the season. Curveball strike. Votto is fly to right. He has struck out swinging. Fraley goes. Pitch on the ground. Somehow picked by Cronenworth. Jake Fraley drives in the tying tally. Level through 6. Our FanDuel Live total runs update. The over-under pregame for runs stood at 11. We have since dipped down to 5.5. Jake Fraley has evened the game. His team leading 50th RBI as the Reds and Padres level at 1. So as we hit the 7th, Graham Ashcraft has 14 swings and misses today. That is a season high. That is one off his career high, accomplished twice last year. I think it's fair to say it looks like Graham Ashcraft is indeed back.
Yeah, he looks like the old Graham Ashcraft right now. Just keep rolling.
Nick Martinez warms in the Padres bullpen. Seth Lugo at 94 pitches. Ashcraft at an efficient 73. 53 of them strikes. Look at the dance he made Bogarts do on a called strike.
You know, that's a front door breaking ball right there. With the guy that throws 98 to 100.
Bogarts has struck out twice today. Swing and miss and a cutter. And Ashcraft has rediscovered his movement.
So first pitch is a slider inside. Second pitch, 96-mile-an-hour cutter on the inner part of the plate. Slider away.
Oh, 2 again. Grounded left side. Clean pick by Steer. Another ground ball out. Brief message now from UDF.
What is it that makes UDF peach so popular? Juicy, ripe peaches. Stop by UDF while peach is back for a limited time.
Ashcraft is back. Peach is back. The Reds are back in black. Jake Cronenworth is grounded out. He is flied out. By the way, very happy birthday from the Reds in Bally Sports, Ohio to Bill Carrick, lifelong Reds fan, and Cleveland turns 92 today. Happy birthday. Thank you for being with us. He's getting swing and miss, and he's getting indecisive takes. That's been a strike at times today, but okay. Legitimately, I think it's hard to see his pitches sometimes. India. Eight ground ball outs, 7 strikeouts, 5 air outs. A triple threat. Gary Sanchez is singled. He is lined out to center. That was a nice play by Friedel in the 5th. Chasing swing, a slider touches dirt.
Good depth on this breaking ball. Probably started out of the strike zone, but because of all the strikes Ashcraft has thrown today, the early commitment.
Just missed inside. Graham Ashcraft has gone 7 innings once this year. That came against the Pirates in the opening series of the season. He has struck out 8 men as a career high mark in his career, done 3 times all last year. Spun that up. Double barrel now on the Padres pen. Missed up. Brent Honeywell has, it looks like, succeeded Nick Martinez throwing in the Padre pen. They were side by side a moment ago. Payoff. Up and in. That's the first walk of the day issued by Ashcraft. Stevenson out to chat with him. And just now, Lucas Sims, glove on, has asked for a ball. He has just started to warm in the Reds bullpen. Carpenter ground out strikeout. Elevated. Called low. It's now twice there have been pitches that had been called strikes in those spots out of the zone on both sides, not given to Ashcraft. Swing and miss. Sanchez is very slow. He has excellent power, but he is in the bottom tier by catchers, not just in all of baseball, even among that position group. He is a slow catcher. Inside. Seemed to go, no appeal needed. Sanchez goes, payoff, down. He walks him. Back-to-back two-out walks, each on a payoff. Sims had only just started to play catch as that at bat began. David Bell up the steps with Odor at the plate. Makes the move. Skyline Chili called to the bullpen. Graham Ashcraft, an outstanding start. Baseball on Valley Sports Ohio is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by DHL Supply Chain. Now hiring a wide range of salaried, managerial, and operational roles. Apply today. Join DHL.com. Well, the crowd gave a big roar. Stellar start for Graham Ashcraft. The book not yet closed. He leaves in the wake of back-to-back walks. Those two men his responsibility. Two down, Lucas Sims faces Rougned Odor for the first time ever.
Couple appearances in Baltimore for Lucas. Tuesday night ball game. Pitched an inning. Gave up a couple of walks. and then came back Wednesday in the extra inning and a third of an inning. Got the job done with just 5 pitches.
He has inherited 18 runners. Only 4 have scored on the year. Swing and miss. The Padres have been horrific with men in scoring position. They are dead last in baseball, hitting .207. If they maintain this clip, they'll have the worst such number in baseball since 1974. Landing, strike 3. That line preserved, tied still.
Grant Mashcraft, the competitiveness. Nice job, and Lucas Sims.
With the T-Mobile Home Run Derby, July 10th, 7 o'clock. Then catch the 93rd MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard the next night. And there in Seattle will be our very own Tomas Vera, longtime athletic trainer for the Reds, chosen by his peers, criteria at least 10 or more years at the big league level. Chosen by his peers unanimously. He will be on the field for the first time as on-field personnel at an All-Star game, and boy, he was all smiles before the game. Congratulations, Tomas, very well deserved.
Here, here. Thank you, Jim. You know, David Bell pointed out how Tomas is a bridge to the last times when the Reds were winning. It's his 33rd year in pro ball. It's 13 years in the Reds organization. And he had high praise for how connected he is to the players, how much he helps them well beyond the duties of a pure athletic trainer. He's part psychologist, he's sounding board, he's joke machine. He's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
Brent Honeywell is in out of the pen, and he falls behind 3-0 on Spencer Steer.
20-year-old 3-pitch pitcher. Yeah, fastball, changeup, and a slider. And this is where the Reds have really done some damage. Get into the bullpen of the other team, and we've seen the comeback wins and scoring late in the ball game.
And there is a walk. Spencer Steer, the first Reds leadoff man to reach. It's also the first walk drawn by a Red. Seth Lugo went 6, 1 unearned run, 5 hits, no walks, 6 Ks. Tyler Stevenson aboard twice. He's reached on error and has a single. Swing and miss. Generally, Honeywell lives off the fastball, throws it almost half the time. The league hitting 180 against it. Change up in. Downstairs. Steer, an average lead, gets a look. The breaking ball seemed to hang a bit. Stevenson's eyes lit up.
Yeah, this looked like it was a hanging breaking ball. Just a little bit underneath it.
2-2. Called low.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anybody does.
Exactly.
Close play.
I don't think Honeywell is exceptionally quick at first base. Spencer Steer can run. Tyler Stevenson puts the ball in play for the most part. I'm saying let's make things happen right here.
Runner goes, payoff, fouled in and out of Sanchez's glove. Well, behind Honeywell, Nick Martinez, who had first warmed, is loosening once again. Stevenson himself knows that pain. It's part of that position. Steer draws a throw. Got him. Picked off.
Looks like Honeywell just delayed just enough. You can see the slide of the right foot. Got him leaning.
The Padres are clearly very aware of how the Reds run, how aggressive they are. It's been part of what they've shown so far tonight. Payoff fouled back. And you still got 2 more games to go in the series, plus whatever transpires tonight. That doesn't mean don't be aggressive, but word's getting out more and more. The stats don't lie.
Situation like that, it is a stolen base attempt, so you try to get a good lead. However, that's the one thing that can't happen. You're assuming that Tyler Stevenson is going to put the ball in play. You do want to steal the bag. However, it's more important that you don't get thrown out. You don't get picked off. If he swings and misses and you get thrown out, okay. Your manager is putting you in position to run simply because he believes this guy is not going to strike out, or if he does strike out, it's going to be on a pitch you can run on and be successful at second base.
And in the meantime, this is now double-digit pitches seen by Stevenson, who has fouled off 4 in a row. That is stroked to left. Soto frozen. Carry to the wall. Gone! Tyler Stevenson propels the Reds ahead. Solo shot in the 7th. 2-1 Cincinnati.
Earlier that at bat, Tyler Stevenson swung underneath a hanging breaking ball. Honeywell came back with that breaking ball this time. Stevenson made him pay.
Away to Will Benson. A marvelous time ruining everything. Stevenson slaughters the pitch. He had fouled off 4 straight 2-strike pitches. What an at bat. Lark, that is now hits in 5 of 6. He's had multiple hits in half of his last 10 games. (2-0). Elevated by a hair, 3-0. He calls timeout. Swinging 3-0. He drills it to right center. A I love the aggression there from Will Benson.
Well, Will Benson with the aggressive 3-0, but here's a breaking ball. Honeywell, he threw one earlier in the at-bat, and Tyler Stevenson swung right underneath it this time. About 10 rows back.
That home run, the Benson base hit, lineup turning over after a touchdown. Stevenson, they it onto the field. Brent Honeywell is done. Nick Martinez is in. A pitching change for the Padres. After the game, Reds live the post-game show from your local Toyota dealers. Right here on set in the ballpark. Yeah, you could show up at their party. It has been celebratory after Reds home wins. TJ Friedl faces new man Nick Martinez.
32-year-old pitcher Nick Martinez. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. He's got the fastball, changeup, cutter, and a curveball.
Machado on the grass at third. Friedl 1 for 1 against him lifetime. On the edge strike.
He, much like Graham Ashcraft, a lot of soft contact.
Benson fakes, 0-1 lands. Sanchez erupts, no throw. Yeah, Martinez in the 99th percentile in average exit velo. The ball comes off the opponent's bat on average at 84 miles an hour. Incredibly low. Bunt try.
That just means he's missing barrels.
And that is strike 3. He had a 2-strike bunt in Baltimore.
Yeah, this just talks to the amount of confidence that TJ Friedl has. You see what that third baseman is, Manny Machado. If he puts that ball down, there's really no chance.
So the 2 outs this inning are on a pickoff and a 2-strike bunt try. Matt McLain's 0 for 3. Pop out, fly out, strikeout, pitch out. Benson does not bite. It's a 1-run game. The Padres have had a lot of trouble scoring late in games. The last 3 innings, their run scoring goes down dramatically. They are very aware of how well the Reds run. Benson hops a larger lead, draws a throw, staggered slide back, another pickoff. 2 on the inning. Reds take the lead on a Stevenson homer. Great American Ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Trent Grisham watches a ball up. He homered first pitch in the 6th. That's the only run against Red starter Graham Ashcraft. He is also struck out. Lucas Sims threw 5 pitches, 4 strikes, and got Odor looking. His first full inning of work. Spins that for a strike. After Grisham, it's top of the order. Tatis on deck, Soto in the hole. Chop back to Sims, knocks it down with his glove. Gathers, has time. On bent knee, Votto brings it in. 1 away.
It's a nice job by Lucas Sims to not panic. See a little bit off balance. Takes his time. Good solid throw to first base. Many times the pitcher fumbles the ball like that, it becomes disastrous. Late in the ball game, nice play.
First pitch well away to Tatis, who was grounded out twice. Foul popped out once. Brief word now from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Hey, Cincinnati fans, summer's more fun at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Gear up for camping, cookouts, and backyard adventures for less at Academy.
Strike. The wave picking up steam. Sims swing and miss. Bend the knee.
Just a smart pitch right here. Pitch prior on the inner part of the plate, probably off the plate, called a strike. Hey, if the umpire's going to call it, keep going on out there as wide as you can.
Strike one on Soto. How cool was that shot of the strikeout? The wave in slow-mo is rippling into the frame. Hard foul. To second, just beyond India. Soto aboard for a second time. Machado has flied out twice. He has struck out swinging. Alexis Diaz now throws in the Reds bullpen. That is hammered to left. Benson fighting the sun, and he got it.
Game 2 of this 3-game set. Note the start time, 1 o'clock for Reds Live. Pre-game show brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Nothing official from the Padres, but believed to be Michael Wacha and his 2.90 ERA going to the hill. Brandon Williamson gets the ball for the Reds.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Reds by 1. First pitch. What a pick by Machado. He made that look smooth as he robs McLean.
Well, he's special over there at third base. This ball is hit hard and no problem.
.105.2 clean.
Yep.
Jonathan India has singled up the middle. Fly out, strikeout, chatter between Bogarts and Machado. Athletic trainer out. Manager Bob Melvin as well. Looking at his throwing hand. Rubbing that throwing elbow. Did something happen on the toss? He says he's okay. Ball one. During the Reds' rise in the last month or so, they have taken down some of the top teams in baseball. The Padres have underachieved based on resumes, payroll, expectation. But they have been a nemesis for the Reds. Entering this game, Cincinnati had suffered losses in 8 of 9 head-to-head against San Diego and 14 of 16. And now David Bell sees a lead on the board, home 8. Alexis Diaz getting hot, one of the best closers in the game, and the Reds trying to expand that lead. And that's one of the other critical elements. There are so many that go into winning a bunch of games as the Reds have. They have tacked on in a lot of those wins. Rounded to short. Bogarts. Brief word now from, are we ready? Miami Valley Gaming.
Shimmy on down and get ready to get lucky at Miami Valley Gaming.
Awesome.
That's good to be back. Ellie De La Cruz has lined out hard to third, singled on a bounce to right, reached on error. And last time he was rocking the City Connect jersey on a Friday night at GABP, he halted the longest cycle drought in baseball. And Jim Day, he's wearing the same jersey.
Indeed he is. There's only one City Connect jersey now. Many items, including that baseball's in his locker, and there are other things that are going to the Reds Hall of Fame. Cooperstown, in fact, but that jersey is the same jersey he wore that night.
And remember, he was using the same bat, the same gamer that they used the invisible ink on. De La Cruz, right field, caught at the wall. Tatis handles, De La Cruz just short. Will one be enough? Reds ahead by 1. Reds baseball on Bally Sports Ohio is brought to you by Jake Sweeney Chevrolet, serving the tri-state for over 100 years. I think he knew. Tyler Stevenson, his solo shot the difference. 2-1. Reds ahead in the 9th. He is behind the plate, receiving assuredly an all-star closer. What a spectacular season it has been for Alexis Diaz.
Yeah, he has been very reliable. 22 out of 22 chances.
It's the longest run to begin a year converting save tries since Rob Dibble, 23 in a row in 1991. Grounded with eyes and through, base hit. Bogart's first reach of the game. He is a base stealing threat.
Not a bad pitch right there. Maybe just a little elevated. You know what people say about Alexis Diaz, if the ball has finish, it has ride on it. He throws that ball up in the zone. Very difficult to catch up to it. When he starts that fastball down and it rides up into the good hitting position, that's the only time he can get into some trouble.
Cronenworth is grounded out twice. He is flied out to center. Bunt, third base side. Diaz backhand, throw to first, on a bounce off Otto's glove. And it's 2 on, nobody out.
And this is what we see the Reds do. Put the ball in play and make the defense try to make a play. Joey Votto does a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him, because this throw could have sailed down the first base line. Nice job by Joey keeping that ball in the infield. How'd they score that one, John?
Bunt, base hit. So now 2 on, nobody out. Gary Sanchez is singled, line to center, and walked. Inside. Josh Hader now stands in the Padres bullpen. Slider strike. Left field. Benson back on the track, fighting the sun. He's got it. Runner's tag. Throw goes to second. No play. Both Bogaerts and Cronenworth advance. Second and third, 1 out.
It's good base running right here. Xander Bogaerts, seeing that ball's right at the wall, couldn't really get behind the ball because it's so deep. Cronenworth has good speed at first base.
Right side of the infield is shallow. Everyone's in a touch. Steer even at third, trying to keep Bogaerts honest. Carpenter is grounded out, struck out, walked. Just missed. For a good chunk of this year, Diaz had a strikeout rate right around 50%. That's gone down a bit. Could really use strikeouts here. Two-0. Swing and miss. Crank to right. Fraley over on the fly, yes, but both runners tag. Throw in, cut by India, sac fly RBI, tied at 2.
Infield in, you got to get a ball that you can get in the air. And Carpenter does a nice job laying off the ball down, getting some up over the plate.
Odor inside. Alexis Diaz had converted 27 straight save chances going back to last year entering today. Popped up. Votto underneath. He'll be among those due up. Bottom 9. Fraley. Votto. Steer. Bottom 9. Couple of hits, one of the bunt variety, ultimately a sac fly by Matt Carpenter. And even game, Josh Hader enters.
Well, one of the best in the game right here, Josh Hader. 3-pitch pitcher, electric fastball. Sits at 96, really slings it. Look at the ERA. 133, opponent's batting average. It's got the slider and the changeup as well.
And David Bell's going to his bench with the left-handed Hader in. Fraley yanked back. He finishes 1 for 3 with an RBI. Kevin Newman pinch hits. Now we haven't seen Hader in a game in 10 days. He last pitched in San Francisco on June 20th, and this is how it ended. Bases full, ball 4, ball game. Misses up. Up and in. The first man he has faced in 30 outings this year. 1 hit, 5 walks. That's an average against for that first man of 0.40. Swing and miss. Newman lifetime is 1 for 6 against him, a couple of walks. He calls his timeout. Another pinch hitter on deck. Joey Votto, it appears, will not face Hader. Nick Senzel stands in the circle. Backdoor lands it, strike 3.
Well, this is just good pitching right here. You saw the fastball in close to the face of Kevin Newman, and the backdoor breaking ball. You see it out there, you give up on it early. She just keeps breaking on the outside part of that plate. Good pitch.
Senzel has hit lefties very well on the year. He is 0 for 2 against Hader. .382 is batting average against left-handed pitching. 4th best in baseball. Fastball by him. One and two. Backdoor miss. Should extras come, Ian Jabot is loosening in David Bell's bullpen. They guard the line at third. Check swing. He went. Tag applied, put out complete. Spencer Steer aboard twice. He has singled, walked, and struck out. After his leadoff walk in the 7th, he got picked off. Later in that same inning, Will Benson got picked off in between Stevenson homered to give the Reds the lead. To some extent, that's going to happen. The Reds have been, I don't want to say lucky. I think there's a lot of skill to what they're doing, but their success rated steals, the lack of harm that's come with their aggression, has been extraordinarily in their favor.
It has been. But you know, you create your own luck by being aggressive and playing to win as opposed to playing to not lose. Like that right there.
Yeah.
That's a play to win. That's a play to win move, and and that's what this club does.
(3-1) elevated. Winning run is on. And the man who gave the Reds their first lead of the day back to the plate. Stevenson saw 10 pitches. He fouled off 4 straight 2-strike pitches. He became the first Red to homer seeing double-digit pitches since T.J. Friedel in August of last year. This is what he did.
Well, it's another hanging breaking ball. Earlier in that at bat, Honeywell threw a breaking ball up in the eyes of Tyler Stevenson, and he swung right through it. Came back with that breaking ball, and Steve-O did not miss that one.
If Stevenson reaches without winning it, Will Benson is not on deck. David Bell is showing Luke Maile to hit for Benson. Generously tall strike. The Bizarro zone had gone away, it seemed, a couple of innings ago, and it's back, and it's different. Oh, my Lord. Swing and a miss. He's got a swing at it. It was just called a strike. So extras come calling to the 10th, tied at 2.
Leads all relievers in wins this season, and got some high praise from one of the opponents tonight. Joe Musgrove, in an interview, was asked, who's the most underrated player in the league? His answer, Ian Jabot. Two chatted before the game. Said he didn't know about Jabot until this year, but has great stuff. Jabot appreciates the love.
And deserves the recognition, because he has been very aggressive out of the bullpen. This team has come from behind wins, and a lot of times what gets lost is the job the guys do in the bullpen to either hold the team and maintain the lead, give this offense a chance to catch up. And Ian Jabot has been in the middle of much of it.
Trent Grisham is homered. Odor the free runner off second. First pitch, corners crash, a bunt, kicks foul. David Bell did use his bench, including Kevin Newman, who is now at third base. Spencer Steer has been bumped over to first. Votto's out of the game. Nick Senzel succeeds Fraley at right. The Reds are 5-3 in free baseball. The Padres are a major league worst 0-6. On shown, corners crash. That's fair. Newman gathers. India covers. Sacrifice 5-4. Lean off third, but nobody there to cover. And Odor jogs back in. A 1 out. Tatis has grounded out twice. Foul popped out once and struck out. Infield plays in. Right at him with a fastball. Oh, 2. This is the teeth of a dormant Padres order. They're gonna get hot. They're gonna hit. The Reds hope their execution can avoid that coming this weekend. Base hit. Team that has toiled with men in scoring position all year. Wide berth by Tatis. He has a single. It's 3-2 San Diego.
Just good hitting by Fernando Tatis Jr. Looks like that slider's off the plate. Tatis is thinking second base. Will Benson does a nice job getting over, cutting it off.
Soto 2 for 4, couple of singles, 1 ground out, 1 strikeout. Tatis the top base stealer for the Padres, 14 up, caught just twice. In some ways, bunting, especially with the power of the order shortly to follow, demonstrates just how dire it's been in terms of run scoring for San Diego. It's fairly rare, not impossible, but most visitors don't do that. Opposite way. Benson after it. Tatis can fly. Windmill on at third. Throw in McLean. Relay to the plate late. Tatis swipes at the dirt after he slides through cleanly. Soto up to second. It's 4-2.
Juan Soto does this just about as good as anybody in the game right here. Hitting that breaking ball that was on the inner half of the plate and staying through it, hitting it the other way. And you mentioned it, Tatis can run. Scoring from first base.
Now Machado. Swing and a miss. He's 0 for 4. Oh, 2. Ray Kerr warms in the Padres bullpen. Left-hander. Popped up. Steer in India over. India foul ground. Sliding grab on the track. Tag from second. Strong throw to third. On a bounce, the tag save. Soto just beat the tag from Newman. That was a great effort from India.
talked about a great effort. First of all, it was a great catch, ranging far to his left, having to navigate that tarp over there and then popping up and making a strong throw.
Bogarts grounded to short. McLean scoop. Reds needed at least 2. Padres post a pair. Benson, Friedel, McLean due up. Opener against San Diego. The Reds have 29 comeback wins. They broke a tie with the Orioles when they bested them in come from behind fashion a couple of days ago. Each of David Bell's club's last 7 victories has seen the Reds trail at some point. A left-hander in. Padres call upon Ray Kerr.
4-pitch pitcher, the 28-year-old Ray Kerr. He got a fastball. He will sink that fastball as well. Throws a curveball and a change. Sits about 96 miles an hour on the heater.
He has spent most of the year in the minor leagues, just those scant 7 innings in the show. And David Bell goes back to his bench. Luke Maile, who was shown to hit for Benson before last inning ended, stands in for him now. That means the Reds have 1 position player left on their bench. Third catcher, Kurt Casale. Tyler Stevenson is the free runner at second. He had struck out to end the 9th. Is there a pitch comm issue here? He can't hear him. We'll extend the pause before this can get underway. Maile has plenty of power. The Reds held to 2 runs on 7 hits to this point. They are 1 for 5 with men in scoring position. Ball 1. Fouled away. Grounded to Machado. That freezes Stevenson. 1 down. Top of the order, T.J. Friedel, who's 0 for 4. Machado on the grass at third. Friedel has hit lefties very well. In fact, better than he has hit right-handed pitching. He's at 379 left on left. Strike. popped up. Odor. The last man standing is Matt McClain, who was 0 for 4. His on-base streak on the line in 20 games. He was robbed by Machado, a hard ground ball to third in the 8th. Two and 0. Drill to center. Grisham back. Gone! A Mac attack! The Rally Reds roar once again. Down to their last out. Tied.
Matt McClain. My goodness. Get it done, young man. These guys just keep playing. They just keep playing. It is not over.
This is the closest the Reds have come this year to going full Yogi. 1-0. Landed for a strike. There's something magic about this team.
No doubt about it, John.
Two and 1. Field. Soto over. More free baseball. It's him. He's the problem for the Padres pen. Nearly 110 off the bat to dead center to the 11th. Talk about a flair for the dramatic. The on-base streak extended. The game extended. 2-run tater. Drilled by McClain. And that forces the 11th. It also means a layer of moves. The Reds have lost their DH. Elly De La Cruz was the DH. He now plays at third base. Kevin Newman has moved over to first base. They have shifted Spencer Steer into left field. That means the pitcher now bats in the 9th position. It'll be De La Cruz in the cleanup spot. 4, 5, 6 due up in the home half. Alex Young is the new pitcher.
Good thing we had that 5:10 start time. Be here all night, right? 3-0 out the bullpen. This last showing out in Baltimore. He pitched 2/3 of an inning. 1 strikeout and 1 walk.
Well, Bogart's the free runner. Corners crash. They bunt again as they did last inning, and that caught Stevenson.
I think they were considering whether to challenge that or not, thinking that Cronenworth maybe pulled it back and Stevenson just missed it. But he did make contact.
Oh, 1 swinging away. Strike 2 on a breaking ball up. Step off by Young. Padres have right-hander Drew Carlton warming. David Bell has right-hander Daniel Duarte getting ready. Skied foul, twisting seats and out of play. Young last time out at Baltimore probably had his sharpest command and stuff that we have seen this year. Left on left against Cronenworth. Gets a pop fly. McLean outfield grass. One away. Bogart still locked in at second. Gary Sanchez. First pitch strike. Now the DH spot is on deck and Matt Carpenter is not there. Nelson Cruz appears ready to pinch hit. Chopped up the middle. India off his glove. Late windmill at third. Scoop in center. They have to concede the score. A jog home for Bogarts. That's the second time the Reds have been burnt on an odd bounce up the middle. And again, it's a base hit.
Yeah, not much you can really do about this right here. We've seen the ball kind of bounce off that turf a few times, and just a tough play to make. As an infielder, you want to try to keep that ball on the infield. But the high hop off that turf, tough to do.
Now Nelson Cruz, who tomorrow turns 44 years old. Up and away. Cruz debuted as a Brewer in September of 2005. It was right after Alex Young turned 12. Grounded to India. Throw to first. Sanchez up to second. And now another pinch hitter. Instead of the left-handed Rougned Odor, Ha-Seong Kim has been declared. And David Bell comes up the steps. He has had Duarte ready. Young is faced 3. And so with the right-handed Kim poised to pinch hit, Bell beckons his right-hander in Duarte. His new right-hander, Daniel Duarte.
In Baltimore in that win on Wednesday, 2/3 of an inning, he walked 2 hitters. So control was an issue.
Now, Kim has been swinging a hot bat, but has been battling tightness in his hamstring. That's why he did not start today. He's 3 for 15 on their road trip. A double and a homer, each posted yesterday. Duarte misses low. His last 13 games hitting over 360 with 4 homers. One and one. I'm curious if and where he will play defense if hamstring tightness is an issue. He's their best defender. He's a great shortstop.
Healthy.
Exactly. So if, perhaps you have belief he can swing the bat, but does that impact his ability to make plays defensively? They still have Brandon Dixon and then second catcher Austin Nola. That's their bench right now. Just missed away. Called strike. Wow.
What'd you call that strike zone earlier?
Bizarro.
Bizarro.
We did go super friends in the open, so. Very slow runner at second base. Payoff. Similar spot, called ball 4. Now Kim is on. Trent Grisham has had a couple of impactful plate appearances. He homered first pitch he saw when he led off the 6th. That produced the first run of the game on either side. He laid down a sacrifice in what eventually was a 2-run top of the 10th for San Diego. Down it in. Duarte's velo down somewhat noticeably here. And everything is missing away to righties, into lefties. He averages almost 95.5 in his limited big league outings this year. He's been sitting 92 here. Rocketed right at first, handled by Newman. The deficit 1. De La Cruz. Newman. 1-run affairs. Padres hate them. They have the worst record in baseball in 1-run ball games. They were excellent last year. The Reds, the second most 1-run games played and victories. Ha-Seong Kim stays in the game. He plays second base. And the new pitcher is Drew Carlton.
4-pitch pitcher Drew Carlton, the fastball. He's got a cutter, a sinker, slider, and changeup.
Jonathan India, the free runner. Elly De La Cruz leads it off. At the knee strike. Carlton has oddly inverted splits. Lefties are hitting 136 against him, just one extra base hit. This is up. India, the tying run, off second. In the dirt. Few pitchers have aggressively attacked De La Cruz with fastballs in the zone. That is driven hard to right center. Awkward read by India. Furious windmill on. De La Cruz shoots up to second. Throw to second. Head first plunge. India scores. Tied. Ribby double.
People are going to stop pitching to this young man right here. This was a changeup out over the plate. Elly De La Cruz hits this ball. Fernando Tatis Jr. knows the speed of Elly De La Cruz and does a nice job of cutting that ball off, but still the speed allows himself to get in the scoring position.
Bunt yank back, pitch up and away with the corners in. Lark, he killed that ball. That was 115.4. And he has tremendous wheels, the fastest man in the world. Bunt. De La Cruz starts for third, only play at first. Throw on time, on target. And the winning run is 90 feet away with one out. The Reds have 5 walk-off wins this year. The walk-off winner RBI has been delivered by Nick Senzel twice. It is Senzel who is due up.
This team just keeps punching and punching and punching, putting pressure on the defense, taking advantage of mistakes, making good swing decisions, being very aggressive, playing to win as opposed to playing not to lose. And there's a difference. Just a tremendous amount of confidence with this Reds ball club.
Pitching coach Ruben Niebla trying to coach up Carlton. Keep something in mind. Carlton, with somewhat limited big league time, facing a high leverage moment. Crowd into it, infield in. He knows the speed of De La Cruz at third. There have been 11 wild pitches with Sanchez behind a big league plate this year. Swing and miss, up and in, strike one.
As a hitter, you're just looking for a ball out over the plate. All you have to do is touch it. Just hit the ball solidly. Obviously, you can't guide it. But you certainly can be patient enough to get yourself a ball that you can drive. And that's what you have to do right now. Now you have to protect with Senzel. You're down 2 strikes. Have to put it in play.
0-2. Grounded. De La Cruz break. Throw to the plate. Slide. Reds win! No, he's out. He missed the plate. De La Cruz in disbelief.
Well, Sanchez put his foot down, and I think he blocked the plate. And the question is, did De La Cruz touch it?
The Reds challenge. De La Cruz is convinced that he got plate and won the game. Watch the left hand.
And John, the challenge is, can that catcher block the plate? Can that catcher be in front of the plate before he receives the ball?
Cincinnati is challenging the out call at the plate and blocking of the plate.
So the Reds challenging both.
And the speed of Elly De La Cruz on the high throw to the plate, and exactly that. Sanchez definitely blocks that plate. The question is, was he in his rights to do that? Did he have the ball?
Well, also watch his left hand. Does he get plate after the contact? So he tries to extend back. Blocked there some by the umpire. He's got that oven mitt on to help protect his fingers.
I think the real question for me is, per rule, is Sanchez capable of blocking the plate? And was he there blocking the plate before he actually had the ball in his possession? And if he did block the plate beforehand, then that's interference, and that should be a safe call.
Ruling on the field, out at the plate. The Reds challenging the out call and blocking of the plate.
And the question, John, is on a ground ball to the infield. Josh Hall was just in my ear telling me that not sure of the ruling because of the lack of time. Does he have to give that runner a lane or not?
And Rule 6.01 I2, with infield in, the catcher is not responsible to follow the restrictions outlined there if it's a hard hit ball.
And I think that applies right there.
After review, there was no blocking violation. The out call at home plate was confirmed. The runner is out. Cincinnati will lose its challenge.
So Senzel reaches on fielder's choice. De La Cruz cut down to the plate. 2 outs. Spencer Steer, who has singled once, walked twice. He has also struck out. Fouls back, strike one. Down. Machado guards the line. No doubles at third. Strike two. Appeal, no.
goodness. This is unbelievable. This team has played some incredible baseball and just grinding it out. Inspiring baseball. Wow. How fun has this ride been? These boys are getting it done.
That's Steer's first walk-off bomb, his second walk-off hit. The Reds have won 15 of 18.
Well, we're talking about the play at the plate. And certainly there's some frustration on the Reds side. But Spencer Steer does what he's been doing pretty much the entire season. Whatever's going on around him, he is capable of really locking in on the moment. And he has himself a moment with that 2-run walk-off home run. John, we've said it over and over again. There is some special stuff happening down here at Great American Ballpark.
A sensational finish. And the star, Spencer Steer, with Jim Day.
John, thank you very much. He tore his jersey off, put a sweatshirt on. How was that celebration, my man?
God, my eyes are killing me. I think I got pickle juice in my eyes. Man, that was pretty cool, though. Can't beat it.
Tell me about the mindset. It was an obvious deflation when they ruled Ellie out at the plate. It looked like you guys were perhaps going to another inning. What's going through your mind?
Man, just try to hit a ball hard. Nick and run good at first. Just try to put something in the gap. And
that was compliments of Ellie and Will Benson. All right.
Hit from every different direction right now. Jesus.
It's all worth it, though.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's the best, man. I mean,
wash that pickle juice out.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, my eyes feel great now.
Tell me about the at-bat.
Yeah, like I said, just trying to hit something in the ball hard in the gap. Hung a slider there at the end, man, and couldn't be happier to do for this team. I got picked off earlier in the game, and I think that cost us a win, so I was able to, make something happen there.
Where does this rank in your young career?
I don't think I've had a bigger hit in my life right there. That was pretty awesome.
Tell me about this team, the Rally Reds, and how it just continues to fit.
Yeah, man, we just don't give up. We just don't give up. We keep fighting, and we just make stuff happen. It just seems like we just make stuff happen. That's all I can say about that.
Congratulations. What a moment.
Thanks, Jim.
Spencer Steer. These Reds. Unbelievable. Reds live the postgame. That set will be rocking. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.